Okay. All right. So if no one has questions right now, I'll ask again shortly. We're going to start with our opening prayers. Shall we start with the altruistic motivation? So altruism, of course, is doing for others, doing for our brothers and sisters. Um, so this is a main motivation, and when we think about others, we it's easy for us to think about our family and our friends, and we want to do for them. But it's very difficult for us to think about other people that we really don't know, but we think that maybe they have hatred toward us, our enemies, those that want to do us harm, do others harm, and so on. So we focus this particular motivation on showing those people loving kindness and compassion. So we recite these prayers out loud 3 times. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Now we'll recite it in Tibetan language. Dagla dangwa je pe dra no pa je pe ge. Tar pa dang tam she ken pe bar du jo par je pa tam she ki so je pe. Ma nam ka dam yam pe sem chen dam she de wa dang den. Dug now dang drel nur du la na me pa yang dag par zog pe shang zhu bren po she to par ja. Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Deshe du sang ma ge gi bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. Ma she bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. Du de ring ne song te ni ma sang ta sam gi bar du lu na gi sam ge wa la ko. Next, this is called the long refuge prayer. We take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha. The Buddha lived 2,600 years ago. He was a human being, a historical Buddha. And his teachings are called the Dharma. And we study the Dharma. And the group of people, the community that forms by studying the Dharma like this is called the Sangha, the Buddha, the Dharma, and Sangha. So we say the body, speech, and mind. The body would be the Sangha, the community of people. The Dharma would be the speech of the Buddha, would be the teachings of the Buddha, and the mind of the Buddha would be at the heart center. So this is the long refuge prayer. We take refuge also in our teachers and our lamas and in all the other Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So we recite this. We take refuge in the kind root lama and lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deities and the mandalas of the yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. We take refuge in the kind root and lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Dakas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Transcend Sawa Dangur Parje Pe Pao Dan Lama Dampa Namla Kapsu Chio Yedam Kil Gorgi La Sok Namla Kapsu Chio Sangye Chom Dende Namla Kapsu Chio Dampe Cho Namla Kapsu Chio Papege Dunam La Kapsu Chio Pawo Kajo Cho Kyong Song Mei Song Yeshe Gi Chang Dang Dempa Nam La Kapsu Chio. Next prayer is taking the Bodhisattva vow. Bodhisattva is a holy enlightened being, and we put ourselves on the path to become a Buddha. And as we do that, we go through different stages. And the stage before becoming a Buddha is the Bodhisattva stage, the holy enlightened being. So this is something that we are all working for. So to take the vow to become a Bodhisattva is very important. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. O Chang Shu Ning Por Chi Ki Bar Sangye Nam La Kap Su Chi Cho Dang Shen Pa Sem Pa Yi So Klang De Shin Kap Su Chi Jitar Nong Gi De Sheg Gi Shang Shub Tuk Ni Ke Pa Dan Shang Shub Sem Pe La Pa La De Dagrim Shen Ne Pata De Shen Dro La Pen Dandu Shang Shub Sem Ni Ke Gi Shen De Shen Du Ni La Pa La Rim Pa Shin Du La Pa Ji O. This next prayer is the short refuge prayer. We take refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, body, speech, and mind of the Buddha, the three jewels. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, most excellent. I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, most excellent. I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sangye Chodang Soki Chonam La Shangshu Badu Dagni Kapsu Chi Dagi Jinso Ki Pe Sonam Gi Drola Penshir Sangye Jupasho. And then the last prayer that we'll do today is called the Four Immeasurables. These are the four vast, immeasurable qualities of bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is the holy enlightened mind. So all the great beings, all the great, whether they're Buddhist or they're Christians or they're Jews or they're Islam or Hindu or Taoist, whatever, those great beings all have the qualities of loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. These are the four vast, immeasurable qualities of bodhicitta, the holy enlightened mind. So we recite this for the benefit of all beings. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. In Tibet, Manam kadam yam pe sem chen tam she de wa dang de wei gurdang dem pa jor chi. Dog now dang do now gi gu dang dra wa jor chi. Dog now me pe de wa dang mi dra wa jor chi. Nei ring jak dang ni dang dra wei tang nam la ne pa jor chi. Okay, thank you. So those prayers altogether are helping us to focus on what our motivation is, what our mindfulness is, to be able to attain enlightenment for the benefit of other beings. And enlightenment is a peace of mind. Enlightenment is a focus on being able to be natural, to be a complete human being. That we have three bodies, we say. We have our physical body that we're all familiar with. We have our intellectual body that we're all familiar with. And all people in the world, that's all they're concerned with is their physical and their intellectual bodies. But we also have a spiritual body. And it's the spiritual body that we're trying to awaken or awaken our realization of, our recognition of. So when we say that we have our three bodies, that means that we are a complete human being. And these three bodies work with each other. When we only have two, when we're only thinking of the physical and the intellectual, it's like a two-legged stool. And a two-legged stool can't be balanced very well. It's very difficult to maintain its balance standing by itself. If we're sick, if we're physically sick, we can't think very well. So we're not doing real good. If we're upset, something's upset us emotionally or something like that, our body doesn't feel good. We start getting sick and so on. We start getting colds or the flu or whatever. We make mistakes. We become accident prone when our intellect is not working right. That's how it affects our body. When our body isn't working right, it affects our ability to be able to concentrate. But if we have a spiritual body, we find that the spiritual body becomes part of those three and becomes like a three-legged stool. And of course, that will stand by itself. So if we find that our intellect is upset, if we have our emotions, we can examine that through our spirituality and see what the causes of that upset is, what our emotions are based in, and we have a antidote that we can use for those upsets, and that will help our body to feel better. If our body's not feeling well, it'll harm our body, speech, and mind. But if our mind is well, then it will help our body and our speech as well. So the three go together. Does anybody have any questions? I'd like to ask Faiza. Please tell me, what is it that you're interested in and being able to to learn from Buddhism? Is it meditation? Is it peace of mind? Is it the study of religion? What is it that is your prime motivation?
I think it's essentially well, everything under the umbrella. I think it's a very inclusive and accepting practice from what I've read, and kind of like what you mentioned, so many religions can take elements from it and apply it within the religion that they're practicing. And I love how inclusive it is. But I also really, um, I I think what attracted me the most about it was the way it kind of refocuses how you connect with your ego. Because I know that I suffer a lot because of that. So I've tried a lot of different things, but I think just um, getting into such a deep and authentic practice like this can exactly what the readings say, just free you from that suffering. Essentially, all suffering um, comes from the ego. And I believe that that is one of the issues that I suffer with. So, just learning to accept what what is, and just staying present in the moment too is something I'd like to do.
Very good, very good. Thank you. That was very well put. Thank you. Uh, Mahogany, what would you say? What is the main thing that has attracted you to our group?
So I think that FISA did a really good job of summing up some of my own thoughts, but one of the first things that comes to mind for me is just acceptance. I was, raised and kind of brought up in the Christian church, Baptist, Presbyterian, United Methodist, you name it. And I think the part that has always been kind of missing for me is just true acceptance of everyone and that inclusivity. And so, but I definitely consider myself to be a spiritual person, and I love to stay grounded. So it's important for me to have, community, to have some sort of practice. So I'm looking for something different, but something that's very accepting. And my understanding is that Buddhism does that. So I'm interested in learning more about it.
Very good. Thank you. Justina, is that pronounced properly?
Yes, Jasenia. Yeah.
Justinia. Justinia.
Just like you say Jay, you say say. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yes. So would you like to add something to that? What is it that has attracted you to
Well, I
Buddhism?
think we have a lot in common with Vaisa and also what Mahogany shared.
Uh-huh.
For me, more than anything is well, the three most important things for me are acceptance. I have been to many churches and got familiar with many practices or religions, I should say. And I am looking for a discipline or a practice that has total acceptance. And I think I'm hoping that, within learning more about Buddhism, I can get in touch with that. I really want to stay more present. I want to, stop like thinking about the future, wondering about the past, just be here and now. And just be at peace with self, right? Things are what they are. Life will always happen. But how we show up and how we manage our daily challenges or lessons is how we learn about, moving forward in life. And that is most important to me.
Really good. Thank you. Yes.
Thank you.
Would anybody else like to add anything? Gary, Tom, or Kate? Gary, Tom, and Kate have been doing Buddhism 101 with us for many years. So we have people that come in new, and we have people that keep going around this and everything. So we've talked about these things many times, and that's part of the process of how we change. Because some of these things are very subtle, And by going over them over again, we begin to realize how they really assimilate into our lives and so on. And we see that our lives have changed over time. Some people are looking for like a light switch effect. All of a sudden, they're going to get some kind of an epiphany, but it doesn't always happen like that. It's a slow process, and one in which you are changing. The only thing we can change is ourselves. We can't change what's happening outside of ourselves. So we need to be able to deal with all this stuff that's going on and be able to control ourselves in the process, control our ego in the process. So Buddhism is more of a philosophy. If you look up religion in the dictionary, you'll see that somewhere in the list of meanings, it's going to say that it's a human being's relationship with a supreme being. So we say, well, we don't know whether there's a supreme being. We don't know how this was created. We just know that we're here. But the only thing that we can do is be able to manage our relationship with what is here. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to be more tolerant of things. We're trying to understand how we can control our emotions and how we can add to our wisdom, how we can add to our knowledge base of how things operate and be able to accept other people's points of view and so on. So in that, like you point out, it doesn't matter whether, what your background is, whether you're a Christian or a Jew, whatever. And Buddhism will help you to become a better religion person if that's what you want to do, because you're making yourself more happy, more balanced. And so that's an important product that comes as a result of studying Buddhism. So like I said, in a couple of weeks, we'll be talking about the life of Buddha, because that's an important understanding, what he did, because he was a human being and he found this enlightenment, that we all seek. Human beings have this natural tendency to want to know and so on. And so we're always looking, for that truth, for that enlightenment. Well, he was able to find his enlightenment. And, he said, well, now that I got it, I don't know anybody's going to believe it. So, but anybody who's interested, I'll show them how I attained my enlightenment. So the Dharma is the teaching of how the Buddha attained enlightenment. Looking at all the different things that happen around us, how they affect us, the causes and conditions that cause us to do things and so on. And we're the product of those things that we do. So he taught the Dharma, he taught the method in which he used. And so that was 2,600 years ago. And this has continued for all these years and so on since then. And there's been many, many, many Buddhas who have reached enlightenment as a result of that. And some people can do it in what appears to be a single lifetime, but they may not realize that there's been many lifetimes to get to that point. So we look at it that we're purifying ourselves, that we're ridding ourselves of confusions, ridding ourselves of the effects of our emotions and so on like that. So it's important for us to practice. There's a philosophic, study, academics that we learn, what the Dharma is and so on, what to do, what not to do, why to do it, why not to do it, how do we do it, and then to do it. So there's this academic portion, but then there's this meditative portion, which is really the main thing, because we have to be able to learn how to transcend our ordinary humanness. Our ordinary human body. We use our human body. It's a great gift that we have. And we use our human body, but we also have to focus our mind. So we need to bring our mind together to one-pointed mindfulness, we call that. And that takes a lot of practice to be able to do that. And then when we're able to do that, it's like a key that fits into a lock, and the lock opens up and our heart opens up. And our heart center, not our fleshy heart, but the heart center, we have this energy that we've had since we were first conceived, and we keep with us throughout our entire lives. And when we die, when our body dies, that this energy, this true nature has to be released. So it's released into this continuum, for lack of a better word, right now. And so we're part of this continuum. We're all brothers and sisters in this continuum, as a means to be able to understand what that is. But so the mindfulness is what we're trying to develop of our transcendent nature, that is the same of all of us. In other words, it doesn't matter whether we're young or old. It doesn't matter whether we're rich or poor. It doesn't matter whether we're women or men. It doesn't matter, because we're transcending the human physical body and the human intellect. We're getting into the mind, and that mind, that big mind, is called the Buddha mind. We call it Buddha. Some people might call it God. Some people might call it Christ. Some people might call it Jehovah. Some people might call it Krishna. All these different traditions have their name for it, but they're all talking about the same thing, our true nature. So this is what we're trying to have experience with. It's been with us since we were conceived, and now it's time that in our lives we've chosen, okay, now it's time for me to find out what this is and really make this part of my life. So it becomes a part of our lifestyle, that everything we find, moves around trying to maintain our true nature, to be natural, to be happy, and to help other people to be happy. That's part of our true nature, because we are Buddha. That's one of the first teachings that the Buddha, who lived 2,600 years ago, taught, was we're all the same. We all have this Buddha nature, but it's covered up. It's all blocked up with our emotions and our confusions and so on. So if we can recognize the causes of those emotions, then they begin to dissipate away, and we start having that wisdom, that truth, that true knowledge, that true self starts bursting through. We start seeing that. So they come like epiphanies, oh, there it is. Oh, aha, that's what we've been talking about all this time. So the key to this is giving ourselves the opportunity to do these meditations, to do these practices, that we can have those moments. If we don't give ourselves the opportunity, then we just stay, very isolated and insulated, and our heart center just becomes all blocked up with our confusions and so on. But the more that we let it go, the more enlightened we become. So it's a process, and it takes time, it may take lifetimes. So does anybody have any questions about that? Any comments? Okay. So what I'd like to do is to discuss with you that there is many meditation techniques that we use. And this one here is a very old technique, very old, and there are chakras that run through our body. First, we have to imagine that there's this center channel that runs through our body, and it's about as thick as a pencil, and it runs parallel to our spine, but it's not fixed to our spine. It's like floating in our body, and it goes from the very base of our butt all the way through the top of our head. So it's important that when we do practice, that we sit with our back straight. That's the most important thing that we do. So if you're sitting on a cushion right now, keeping your back straight is very important. If you're sitting on a chair, it's important to keep your back straight. It's better if you're sitting in a chair, if you don't need the support of the back, if you can sit a little bit forward so your back is not pressed on the back of the chair, would be good. And then we want to keep our legs together. If you're sitting on the floor, your legs are crossed. If you're on the chair, your knees are together and your feet are together, and you're just feeling very comfortable and very balanced. And then your hands are in your lap, or 4 inches below your navel is what we say. And the left hand is facing up like this, and the right hand is facing on top of that, and our thumbs are touching. And then our shoulders are pulled back like this. And when we do that, it pulls your hands right into your abdomen, right into where your navel is. And then your head is just tilted a little bit forward. Your neck is just a little bit forward. Your chin is just tucked down just a little bit. And then your eyes should be open or closed. If they're open, it's just a gaze down in the direction of your nose, looking out in front of you, maybe 3 or 4 feet, something like that. But you're not looking at anything special, just relaxed gaze. In the beginning, it may be better to keep your eyes closed, and you have less distraction. And then you can visualize a little bit better as we proceed with this practice. And then your tongue should be on the roof of your mouth behind your front teeth. And we'd like to breathe through our nostrils, through our nose. We breathe in through our nose. We breathe down to our navel. And we then exhale from our navel up through our nose again. If it's difficult, you need to use your mouth for breathing. That's fine. That's fine. But if you have the opportunity to be able to breathe through your nose is very good too. So, so when we breathe in, we're breathing in and we're expanding our belly. As we breathe in, as we inhale, and our belly comes out, and that pulls down the diaphragm. And the diaphragm is pushing against, is connected to the lungs. So as the diaphragm pulls down, it opens up the lungs. So it literally sucks the air in to our lungs. And then we hold the breath, and then we exhale. We squeeze the abdomen. It presses against the diaphragm, which presses against the lungs and forces the air to go out. And we hold that empty breath when it's time to do that. So we're not breathing from the chest, we're breathing from the abdomen. So that's an important feature of learning how to meditate properly. So going back to the chakras now. So we have this center channel, and this center channel going through the top of our head. And when we're born, when we're conceived, we have the egg of the mother, and we have the sperm of the father, and they come together with the essence of who we are. We talk about this in other classes and so on, but so those three come together. The essence of who we are, together with the essence of the mother, the essence of the father, comes together, and then it begins a zygote, and then becomes a fetus, and so on, and we're born. So so that energy that comes as that essence of who we are, that energy that comes and animates the egg and the sperm coming together, that stays with us our whole entire lifetime. And that energy is running up and down through this center channel. And it then has these chakras. These chakras are like wheels that are, in this case, we're going to talk about 7 of them. And these 7 chakras are at different parts of our body. And then the energy goes out and kind of radiates out through these channels to the different parts of our physical body and so on. So this is just a general visualization. What we're doing is a chakra meditation that will help us to familiarize ourselves with those chakras. So I'm going to put a screen share up so you can see this. Can everybody see this? Okay. Okay, let me just get rid of this bar here, please. Okay, I don't think you see that bar anyhow. So here is at the very base is a yellow cube, and then next is a crescent moon, like this, the green crescent moon, and then above that is a three-dimensional triangle, would be a tetrahedron, that would be called, upside down like that with the point downward. That's red. And then would be this blue. You see this six-sided star here, the Star of David, is what it would be called. Two interlocking equilateral triangles would be as blue as at our heart center. And then our throat would be this white sphere, a brilliant white sphere at our throat. And then at our mind's eye, at our forehead, would be this sphere with a equilateral triangle in the center of it. You can see that, and then two rays that are radiating in each direction. And then above that is a 1,000 petaled lotus flower, crystal, clear crystal, that is at the crown of our head. So this is the visualization. So this is 7 chakras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 chakras. So this tradition, this comes out of India, ancient India, and this would have been a practice that the Buddha himself would have learned as an ascetic when he was out in the woods, running around with the ascetic sadhus or whatever of the time there, before he developed the Dharma teachings, before he became enlightened. He would have used techniques like this to be able to have the enlightenment, to be able to release himself. So that's why learning a practice like this is so fundamentally important, because it would be the same kind of practice that the Buddha himself would have used. So many, many, many practitioners use variations of this and so on. So I'm going to talk you through this. And with all of our practices, it's important for us to be able to engage our physical body. Many old practitioners would say, oh, what we're trying to do is we're trying to get rid of the body. We're trying to get rid of the intellectual mind. But we can't do that. We're human beings, and we need to be able to use our physical body. We need to be able to use our intellectual mind. And we find that by doing that, we're able to open up our spirituality. The spirituality doesn't just happen by itself. It's cultivated for us to be able to recognize it. So we need to engage our physical body. And in this case, the way that we're doing it is through the recitation of the mantra. In this case, the mantra is going to be a seed syllable. That each one of these chakras has a seed syllable. And that syllable, very simple, I'll tell you what it is, and it has that power to be able to open up our heart center. So any one of these can do that. So it's important to be able to do it, to recite these out loud. Don't worry about what you sound like. None of us has a good voice. Nobody's paying attention to anybody else anyway. So just relax and let yourself just be part of this vibration. And each of these seed syllables are very ancient seed syllables in Sanskrit. And the Sanskrit was the language in which the Buddha taught, and the great masters at that time were teaching. So it wasn't even written down at that time. It wasn't a written language. It was always an oral language. So we're vibrating with that same vibration that was happening thousands of years ago. So the intensity of that is up to us. You know, if we whisper it, we're going to get a little bit of a benefit. But if we can make it much more powerful, then there's much more vibration and there's much more resonance along with that vibration that has never stopped. That vibration has been going on from time immemorial and will continue through time immemorial. So we're just harmonizing. We're learning that it's there. And to prove that it's there, we need to be able to harmonize with it. And then we realize we experience that vibration ourselves. So it's important to be able to do that. The second part, we're reciting that seed syllable. Then we're thinking about, I'm going to tell you what each one of these seed syllable means as we're reciting it. And then your intellect is focused on that. So you're focused on one pointed mindfulness of just that seed syllable and the way that you're pronouncing it with your lungs and with your vocal cords and so on. So you're engaging your physical body, you're engaging your intellectual mind in order to be able to unlock our spiritual heart, our big mind. Okay? If there's any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to take a little drink of water before we get started.
I have a question about the process of meditation. What is, I guess, how do I interpret, or I'm trying to find a way to word the question. Is it absolutely necessary to have a quiet space when meditating, or is it more necessary to accept the natural surroundings in terms of the sounds around you?
That's a good question. And the answer is, in the beginning, you want to be able to be in a controlled environment as much as possible.
Okay.
So, you know, if you're sitting outside, you can't stop the birds from chirping and the bees from buzzing and so on like that, and the wind blowing, and maybe you can hear some traffic or something like that. But you want to be able to minimize the distractions that are going on in around your meditation, and to be familiar with them and to be comfortable in them, that they're not going to upset you or something like that. As you get more proficient at being a meditator, then you could be in the middle of the beltway and be doing your meditation, and all that traffic and noise and everything won't disturb you. But that comes with a lot of practice, after a lot of practice of being able to learn how to focus and not have all those distractions be an impediment to your meditation.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
It does make sense. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lance, I wouldn't recommend meditating on the Beltway. I get in enough trouble out there as it is.
I agree with that. Yes, I agree with that. I know some people that would go in street corners and would sit down on the street corner and meditate.
I have to confess to have done some chanting on the Beltway, but I don't think it's the type that you're thinking of.
Yes, you were probably stuck in traffic. Okay. So it's important to have a sense of humor, to see the humor in things and everything. We try not to be too stoic, to enjoy what we're doing. It's a very important element. When we say, the holy enlightened mind is loving kindness, compassion, joy, that we're joyous, and then have a sense of sameness, equanimity, a sense of balance. So joy is a very important component of all this. Okay. So I'm going to put this back up on the screen share. Okay. Everybody can see this image here, I presume. Okay. All right. So I want you to sit in the position, the meditation position that I elaborated for you. And it would be best if you can close your eyes, but if you want to open your eyes for any given time to be able to look at the image on the screen, to be able to help you to imagine that, and then close your eyes again would be good. So here we are sitting, we have our center channel, and we're going to experience these 7 chakras. So we begin by visualizing that at the very bottom of this center channel, at the base of our butt, is a yellow cube. And this yellow cube is our connection with the earth. All the things within the earth is connected by way of this yellow cube. And as we experience this connection with the yellow cube, we realize that there is going to be a change that is going to come over us, that we are engaging in this change. And this change becomes a symbol for a passing away, a death, that whoever we are at this point now is going to pass away and is going to change into a new being, that we are going to be reborn in this very session. So there is a death and there is a rebirth. And every moment is charged with the death and rebirth. And here we are sitting on this yellow cube, experiencing this. So this opens up our being able to overcome fear. Our greatest fear is what our death will be. We all have to face death. And we go through many, many, many changes in our lives. So we've been reborn many times in this very lifetime. And there's many more deaths and rebirths that we will experience in this very lifetime. So we can imagine this yellow cube as that connection point. And in order to ignite this yellow cube, we recite the seed syllable LAM, L-A-M, LAM. So we follow me and recite this. Keep your eyes closed. If you need to open your eyes to look at the cube, that's fine. LAM, 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 LAM. So if you like, we're going to recite this many times. If you like, turn your microphones on. Let's see, because we don't have to be in total sync with each other with this. And we can hear all our voices together. There's 7 or 8 of us here tonight. So we can hear each other. We can hear our voices blending together like bees around a beehive. So turn your microphones on and let's see how this works. LAM, Take a deep breath through both nostrils, pull it all the way down to your navel. Expand your belly, hold the breath. Keep your back straight. Exhale, squeeze the abdomen. Force that negative stale air out through your nasal passages. And hold that empty, vacant breath. Relax and breathe normal. Next, we use the energy that we have just ignited, and we come up the channel, the center channel, to the next chakra, which is at our sexual organs. And we visualize a green crescent moon, three-dimensional crescent moon. And we use the energy from our sexuality for the benefit of our meditation. All that energy being focused into this center channel and into this chakra, into the seed chakra. And we open this seed chakra with the syllable VAM, V-A-M. Leave your microphones on, please. I think that worked really good. We can hear each other. It supports each other. Do it with power. Do it with devotion. Do it with confidence. Take a deep breath. Keep chanting and focus your attention on the green moon at your sexual center. Take a deep breath through both nostrils. Fill your lungs with fresh, clean, pure air. Expand your abdomen. Hold the breath. Keep your back straight, your shoulders back. Exhale. Squeeze it out through, squeezing your abdomen through both nostrils. Hold the breath, that empty breath. Relax and breathe normal now. Now we use the energy from these two chakras, we raise it up to our solar plexus. And we visualize a three-dimensional triangle, a tetrahedron, with the point downward, red in color. And this is the survival chakra. This is the chakra of our solar plexus, of our second brain, is also is often called this, that our ability for courage and so on. And we use this energy that comes from this courage, that comes from this chakra, for our meditation's sake. And we open up this chakra with the seed syllable BAM, B-A-M. BAM, 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 BAM. Continue reciting and visualize the solar plexus at our navel. BAM, 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 BAM. This is the source of our strength and courage. BAM, 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 BAM. Take a deep breath. Expand your belly, hold the breath, fresh, clean, pure air coming in. Exhale, squeeze the abdomen against the diaphragm, against the lungs. Stale, dark, contaminated air going out. And hold that empty breath. Relax and breathe normal again. Now we move the energy now, very, very powerful, charged up. Now we move it up to our heart center. We visualize that our heart center are two interlocked tetrahedrons, three-dimensional triangles, one pointed upward, one pointed downward, like a Star of David at our heart center. And we can visualize our two shoulders pointed down to our secret place, to our sexual organs. We visualize that as one tetrahedron. And then we visualize our two knees spread out and going to the top of our head as the second tetrahedron, interlocked. And as the heart expands, this tetrahedron expands. Blue in color, this tetrahedron, a beautiful, beautiful, deep sky blue. And we open this chakra with the seed syllable YAM, Y-A-M. This is the transpersonal through our heart. This is where we experience all the same things as all human beings. All human beings experience the same things as we do. This is the transpersonal through our heart center. Take a deep breath through both nostrils. Hold the breath. Keep your back straight, your shoulders pulled back. Exhale. Hold the empty breath. Relax and breathe normal. Now the energy is vibrating very, very, very high. The frequency is increased. It's gotten very lighter. It just rises up through the center channel to our throat chakra. And here is a brilliant white sphere. And around the brilliant white sphere are many, many, many shoots of brilliant white light, radiating white light all around us, filling us with white light and radiating the white light around us like an aura. And it's through this that we overcome our human ego. We tame our ego and we use our ego. We channel our ego. We give our ego a job. The intellectual mind. And we open the chakra with the seed syllable HAM, H-A-M. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Exhale. Hold it. Relax. Breathe normal again. The energy now just rises up again by itself, rises on its own. It's very light, but very, very, very subtle, very, very, very powerful. And it rises up to our forehead, to the mind's eye. And here we visualize a small white sphere. And in the center of a sphere is a single tetrahedron, a three-dimensional triangle with the point upwards. And from the left and right of this sphere is a ray of light, two rays of light spinning around, spinning, spinning, spinning. And this light is a milky white light, spinning round, cutting through all the dualistic nature, all the dualisms of being a human being, cutting through them. And we open this seed syllable with the syllable Ah, A-H. Take a deep breath and hold it. Exhale. Hold that breath. Relax and breathe normal. Visualize the center channel at its aperture at the crown of your head. And the energy just rises up through its own accord, through the center of the center channel to the crown of your head, and visualize a 1,000 petaled crystal lotus flower, completely pure, clear, no color, radiating light, filling our body with crystal clear light, radiating crystal clear light all around us. We catch a glimpse of the mind as such, the mind pure, the mind free, the mind vibrating. And we open this seed syllable with the syllable Om, O-M, A-U-M, Ah-Om, the meditation mind. Om. Take a deep breath, hold it. Exhale. Keep your eyes closed. If you prefer to keep your eyes open, that's fine. Now just relax. Feel your body vibrating, excited by the recitations of the seed syllables, vibrating with a vibration that has never begun and has never ended. The vibration that has been joined by so many enlightened beings. Just relax and catch a glimpse of the Mahamudra mind, the meditation mind, free. Just relax. 5 minutes of meditation time. Just relax. Your mind wanders, just bring it back to the vibration. Take a deep breath and hold it. Raise your arms up over your head. Bring your hands together and look up at the ceiling through your hands and stretch your back, stretch your arms, stretch your neck. Exhale, release your arms. Just relax and open your eyes. Okay. Thank you very much. How was that, Gary? Your mic's already on.
Oh, I was so relaxed, I didn't realize it was on.
Yeah.
That is something to practice every day if one can. It is a quantum change in the way you feel in the moment. I have seen this symbol, I'm almost certain, in the book that I'm reading. I believe I have in the book Luminous Emptiness.
Uh-huh.
I believe it's in there. I've seen it somewhere, I'll say that, and I believe that's where I've seen it. I don't know where else it would be, but I think that I read about it and moved on, but without the accompanying practice that we've done here, which has so much meaning and energy to it.
Okay. Thank you. Kate, how did you enjoy that?
I liked it very much. I could really feel the energy, and I really connected with it. And I would like, if possible, if you could maybe send me this image. And also I'd like to get a list of the seed syllables so I could do it myself.
Okay. Thank you. Zara, good to see you this evening. Were you able to join us with that practice?
Yeah, I was there. I'm under the weather,
Oh,
but
you sure are.
yeah, but I'm listening actively and participating at a spiritual level. So thank you.
Good. I hope you got better fast.
Thank you.
Yes. Is it just a cold?
Yeah, I tested for COVID 3 times and it's all negative. So I think it's just a seasonal cold, yeah, that's going around.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tom has the same thing. He's getting over it.
Yeah, I'm on day 8 right now.
I say. Faiza, what did you think of that?
I was able to connect spiritually. That wasn't an issue for me, but I think I have a lot of trouble with my posture. How strict is the practice in terms of keeping your back straight?
Well, it's a very important feature. So it's something that you can work on. And if you're having trouble with it now, you work on it. Most people, when they start, have trouble crossing their legs and sitting for long periods of time and so on. So it just becomes something that you work on.
Okay.
Do you have any kind of a problem, physically problem that keeps you from keeping your back straight?
No, I think it's mostly discipline. I mean, it feels physically strained if I keep it straight for too long. So I'm actually not sure if it's a physical problem or just lack of discipline.
Well, it's not something that's been diagnosed by a orthopedic person, right?
No.
Okay. I think it's easy to overcome. It just takes practice.
Okay.
But it is an integral part because the back needs to be straight to keep that center channel straight. If we're slumped over, the center channel gets, it's like a tube. and it gets nicked, and then the energy doesn't flow through that.
And is that just for the chakra practice meditation, or is it for all types of meditation?
It's for everything.
Okay.
Everything. And when we get up off the cushion, that we take the meditation with us.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to have good posture.
Okay.
It's one of the disciplines that we learn.
Okay.
So it'll come. Tom, how you feeling? Tom, were you able to join that? What do you think of that? Your microphone's muted.
That was nice. I usually have an issue with, meditating in groups. So it was I don't know, I guess since I'm still a little congested and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very I can certainly feel the energy, the vibrations.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's as far as keeping your back straight, that'll come in time. I mean, I know after initially yeah, you get aches all over your back. You didn't realize there were sections of that back. I mean, but just in time, if you more you practice, it'll come. It'll come.
Yeah. There's keeping your back straight means that you're employing muscles that you haven't used that way,
Exactly.
So all right. Well, thank you all very much. If anybody has any questions or anything you want to talk about, any discussion points, we can take a couple minutes now. Okay, then. All right. So I can send this image in the I can send it to your email, or I can put it in the WhatsApp. So I can do that. And
Either would be fine.
yeah. And Faiza, if you would like the image, I can email it to you. If you want to join our WhatsApp group, you're welcome to do that. Are you on WhatsApp?
Yeah, I am. How do I join?
Well, I guess I need to send you an invitation.
Okay.
So I don't have your phone number. That's what I need is your phone number. I got your email, but I don't have your phone number.
Okay, I will send you an email with my phone number.
All right, that'll be good. And then I hope that we'll get to meet down at the center before too long.
I hope so too.
But our most of our communications now go by WhatsApp. It's very easy to do, very quick and comprehensive. So we like that.
Okay.
All right. Well, then thank you. I'm going to do the dedication prayers now. So can you see the point that I made when I was describing this? That now we are a different person than we were 2 hours ago. We've been reborn again. I'm still vibrating. I'll be vibrating for the next few hours. And that's the point. That's what we want to try and do. That's where the meditation really, is has its purpose. We see that, and then the transformation is you know it in a experiential way, not just a book way, but you know it because it's happened to you. So we'll do the dedication prayer by Lord Jigden Sumgong on page 21 and 22. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of yidams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yogins, Yoginis, and Dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, and the innate word of virtue, not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Sravaka or Pratyeka Buddha. May all mothers sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading Mars, and the hordes of demons. Experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, may I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachments to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity in the mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I, in any case, gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the bardo. Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. Om, Ah, Hum. May my body, speech, and mind become inseparable with the body, speech, and mind of all the enlightened ones for the benefit of all sentient beings. Thank you all very much. Okay, so I'll
Thank
see
you, Lance.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lance.
You're welcome. See you next week.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night,
Good
everyone.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night all.
Good night. Feel better, Zara.
Thank you.
Yeah.